All right, so lust feels like freedom until you try to quit. We all have things that we chase, whether that's lust, greed, or instant gratification. And all those things feel good, and we think it's all right until we try to quit. And then you realize that it has a stronghold on you. Because in that moment, it feels like freedom. But the second you try to stop, you realize that you're actually captive and that you can't get your freedom. So that's the trap that we all fall into. You think that you're the one that's choosing, but you're actually being chased by the thing that you think you're choosing. Perfection feels like control, but enslaves you to fear. Perfection seems smart. You try to plan everything out. You try to get everything right. Everything has to be orderly for you to be able to make a move. But perfection isn't control. Perfection is fear disguised as control. Every mistake, every slip feels like a trap. And suddenly you're not free anymore, you're trapped by that fear. Stop overthinking the decisions you're gonna make, your businesses you're gonna make, what you're gonna wear, what you're gonna eat. Stop overthinking the relationships in your life. You know, the people are there for a reason. You're here for a reason. You've made the decision for a reason. You know, make informed decisions. Stop getting caught up in paralysis analysis. Make your decision and live with it. Being alone can seem peaceful until you realize that you're lonely. Being alone is peaceful. No one's judging you and no one's hurting you. But at first it seems like peace until you realize that you're not actually living life and you're not living life the way that you're supposed to be living life. As an introvert, I'm a firm believer in being able to be by yourself. One of the quotes that I live by is, you can't step on my toe unless you're close enough. But at the end of the day, you need people in your life. You need a community around you that's gonna help you, that's gonna keep you accountable in times of trouble, people that motivate you. No one's an island. God put us on this earth, first for the family and then with a community for a purpose. True freedom doesn't come from being cut off. It's being able to live with yourself and still be able to connect with the people around you. It's being able to find your individualism within the community. You know, running from people isn't freedom, it's hiding.
Drifting feels like freedom until you realize you've wasted years. Going with the flow, doing what's comfortable, avoiding discomfort. It feels free, but eventually you wake up and see all the years that slip by with nothing meaningful to show. That's the trap of drifting. It's okay to be happy with what you have. It's okay to be happy with what you've achieved. But don't get so caught up in life, work, friendships, that you end up just wasting through life without fulfilling your purpose and without doing what's really important. All these things, sin, perfection, isolation, indecision, drifting, they feel easy. They feel like freedom. But real freedom, it's uncomfortable. It requires choice, discipline, facing fear, and sometimes a bigger perspective than just what's easy in the moment. So look at your life and ask, what feels like freedom but isn't? Notice it, face it. That's how you start moving forward toward real freedom.
Hiding many options feels like freedom, but it hides indecision. Having many choices feels exciting. You feel like you're in control. But if you never decide, if you always defer, those options become like chains. You know, then you realize that you're not actually free. You're just avoiding responsibility. Real freedom comes when you commit, even when the path isn't always easy. Drifting feels like freedom until you realize you've wasted all your years. Drifting is the easiest trap of them all. Going with the flow, avoiding discomfort, and going with what's easy. That feels like freedom. But eventually, years pass by and you realize that you haven't actually done anything that you said you would. That's why real freedom requires intention. You have to actually steer your life in the direction that you want to. You know, life is like a glass egg. You hold it too tight and you might break it. But if you hold it too loose, you might drop the egg. You know, don't be so comfortable that you don't take risks. Or don't be so afraid to make choices that you end up not actually living life. You know, there has to be a balance.